You're listening to a community story from Be My Eyes.
Is Penny Golden. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and that was long ago. I will be 75 this August. I'm still working. I teach school in our church's Christian school. This is our 31st year. We've just completed our 31st year of school. So in the middle of my life at age 43, we began this, and I'm still going strong. And I hope to for more years. I now live 600 miles west of Chicago in Columbus, Nebraska. I also play piano, and I accompany the chapel services that they have for the children. I also play guitar, and I used to teach guitar, and I used to tune pianos. I don't do too much of that anymore. I'm blind, and I learned to read Braille at a very young age. Be My Eyes is certainly not a recent acquisition for me. I don't know what exactly the year was. I don't know when Be My Eyes began, but when it did begin, there was well under 50,000 blind users at the time. My sister helped me to sign up. I'm not very good, even now, at getting things in the right boxes and doing all that. All I can say is I'm not a great user of any of this technology. When it works, it's wonderful. And if something happened to go right, it was probably not my fault. I use Be My Eyes for almost anything. It might be reading labels. One day, some dear soul from Be My Eyes walked me through all of the buttons on the microwave. Well, I knew what they were, but some of them, if you press it twice, you get a higher level, you know what I mean? And so she took the time and walked me through all of those. Well, that was a microwave ago. I now have a different one. So Be My Eyes, I'll probably be calling them and asking questions about the new one. But anyway, I sometimes will ask for directions to cook. It'll be a box of something, perhaps a TV dinner I buy in the store, and I don't know the directions, so Be My Eyes comes in very handy for that. But one day, I had a drawer full of, there's some spices in there, little bottles of spices. There's some bottles of like aspirin or some other kind of pain med. There's just any number of things that did not have labels, and they just kept getting put into this drawer. So around 4 a.m, I got the idea that I'd like to organize this drawer. So I took out about 5 or 6 things, and I pushed them to the side so that Be My Eyes, whoever came up, would see only one of those things. And so I had the first Be My Eyes call, and I ask, as I normally do, I tell them, this is Penny, and I'm in a kitchen in Nebraska. And then I say, have you ever done this before? And usually, nowadays, I get a lot of yeses. Yes, we've done this before. Maybe this is my second call, or this is my third or fourth call. You know, people will tell you how many times they have been able to answer the call as a volunteer before somebody else gets to it. And so I had my first volunteer said, no, I've never done this. And I said, well, what I want is very simple. So it's easy to hold the phone in my hand, and the thing is down here. And sometimes my volunteer will say, no, just up a little bit, to the left a little bit, that sort of thing. Oh, perfect. And then they would tell me what it was. So we did that. And then I said, thank you very much. And so then I rang off on that call and called back in again, and I got 5 different volunteers that morning just to identify these things that I wanted identified. Of course, I could have used the same volunteer for all of them. But I thought I would just spread it around. And so I got 5 volunteers, and none of them had ever done Be My Eyes before. So I was able to initiate 5 volunteers that morning. I have to tell you a story about my school children. I said, I've got this program. It's called Be My Eyes. And my computer, my PC had stopped speaking. I couldn't get it going no matter what I did. And of course, I couldn't hear what was going on. So I dragged my sophomore class over here. One of the boys said, I can get it working for you. So he turned off the computer, turned it back on, voice came up, everything was jolly. But I said, you guys, there's this skill called Be My Eyes, and you get it, you can open it, and a volunteer will read you anything that you need to know. Would you like to see how this works? So I found something I needed to read. I called Be My Eyes. Some dear volunteer got on the line, and I said, well, I only need one thing. I want to know if you can identify this, whatever it was. I don't remember. And so they said, yeah, you move the camera up a little bit. Oh, yes, we got a perfect shot. It's, whatever it was. And so I thanked them, and we rang off, and my 7 sophomores got introduced to Be My Eyes. The students were really fascinated, thrilled. I was telling my younger brother about Be My Eyes, and he was so impressed. He just said, this is great. And he signed up for it, and he has gotten a few calls. He's been able to answer a few calls before anyone else got to them. When I get a volunteer that's new at it, and they say, this is the first time I've ever done this, they are always so delighted and so thrilled. And of course, I'm here in my little kitchen in Nebraska. Sometimes they'll tell me where they are, sometimes they don't, but sometimes I can hear the children in the background or the dogs barking. It sounds like the dog answered Be My Eyes. It's the first thing you hear is a woof. That's kind of fun. And so we get to talking about, their where they are. And one time I had the phone answered, and it was obviously not a United States Midwestern accent like mine. And I said, you aren't from the United States? And she said, no, I'm from Iran. And I said, this is marvelous. I've never had anyone answer from Iran. Or I have had others, one from Greece, maybe from the Caribbean somewhere, but never from Iran. So I said, are you in school? Because she really sounded young. She said, this is my sister's phone. I just answered because it rang. And then she told me what I needed to know. And I just told her how we think so much of the young people of Iran. And so we rang off on that one. I can remember the years before Be My Eyes. I would drop something on the floor. I have a kind of an uneven floor here. I just kind of an old house, and the things will roll, which is actually helpful because at least you can go downhill and maybe find the thing. I have called Be My Eyes to locate something that I've dropped on the floor. I have called Be My Eyes at 2 a.m. to help me set up the washing machine. I guess I like to roam around in the middle of the night, and it works okay if you're not disturbing anybody. But what happens when you need something read at 3 in the morning? Well, Be My Eyes is always there 24/7. You might have to wait while that little twinkly chime plays in the background, but eventually someone is awake somewhere, and that is how I actually got to speak to that young lady in Iran. It is so freeing, liberating, I guess, to know that when I'm in Dutch somewhere, or I'm in trouble and I can't get out of it, and there's no one that I can call on, at 5 in the morning, besides who would I want to disturb that I know here in town to read something, set something, or do something. Be My Eyes is there, and the volunteers are just waiting for that opportunity to do just exactly what you need to have done. One time I had bought some things at the store and just sort of tossed them into the freezer to get them in because it was warm and I just didn't want them to thaw any further. But there was no rhyme or reason to it. Normally I have a shelf for the vegetables, a shelf for the fruit, that sort of thing. And so I called Be My Eyes, and I was like Hansel with his head in the oven, only I was Gretel with my head in the freezer, and we were sorting these things out. Oh no, that's peas. Okay, that goes down here. Oh, that's fruit. That goes up here. And that was kind of fun. But I could do that at an hour when none of my friends are around or would be available. I've got many friends that will do these kinds of things for me, but it has to be at a convenient hour. Be My Eyes makes 24/7 convenient. It's a great help. I wouldn't be without it. And it is of no cost to the user, and that makes it so helpful because we can want something read or want something done and a really inconvenient time and have it done without any cost to the user.
Thank you for listening to this community story from Be My Eyes. You can share your story too. Send it to mystory@bemyeyes.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our app, or visit bemyeyes.com/community-stories for more.